Streaming services like Netflix and Amazon Instant Video are disrupting the film and television industries by streaming original content directly to households across the world. People have been sitting on the couch to stream television shows and movies for years now. Netflix has always been around to provide you with decent viewing options, but the insane spike of original programming for streaming services are now starting to affect the box office. Sure, people will still leave the house to watch superheroes fight each other, and to see childhood classics be reimagined. And I'm sure people will still be showing up when Fast and Furious 18 comes out because they jumped the shark quite a few years ago and people are just going with it. But other than that, people feel like they can just stay home and watch that thing on Netflix that people have been talking about, instead of taking out a loan to go sit on a sticky leather seat that hasn't been cleaned since who knows when. On top of that, Netflix is treating that thing everyone is talking about like a movie now. It even had a Super Bowl commercial with a release date. You know what else had a Super Bowl commercial? A Cure for Wellness. Which is a good movie, but like I said, people are only leaving their house for shit like this now. So A Cure for Wellness only made $8 million. So how are these streaming services able to overpower these traditional studio systems and keep people out of the theaters? It is simply because movie theaters are not typically able to provide the comfort and convenience that a streaming service can provide. There is little to no commitment when it comes to watching a movie on Netflix. There is no getting in your car and driving all the way to the nearest theater. The nearest theater is now whatever room is in your house that has the largest television. And streaming services are taking it one step further. Recently, Netflix partnered with Comcast and you can now access Netflix's content through an Xfinity cable box. You don't even need to open the app. The shows are available through the on-demand menu as long as you have the proper subscription. So previous technology you may have needed to access Netflix on your television, like an Xbox One, PlayStation 4, any capable Blu-ray player, or perhaps even going out and buying a smart TV, it's not necessary. All you need is a cable box. And if you actually decide to take the hike, going to the theater is no small expense. Unless you're me, you probably aren't going by yourself, so there's about $25 for 2 tickets. Then if you're lucky, you can share a popcorn for $8, then 2 soft drinks for like $63 or something like that. I don't know, but either way, you have to be ready to spend some money when you walk into the theater. By the time you're done, you've most likely almost spent what it costs to subscribe to Netflix or Amazon for an entire year. Which is why people only leave the house for large budget blockbusters. And when they do, there better be a reclining seat waiting there for them, or they will be pissed. Do you know why the theaters introduced the reclining seats? Because that is exactly how you watch movies when you are at home on Netflix. Theaters are now trying to recreate the experience that you have in your own house, by trying to mimic the convenience that a streaming service provides. And if they aren't doing that, then they are taking it one step further by trying to give you something that Netflix cannot. AMC now has an app in which you can order food ahead of time, and one of their employees will deliver everything that you ordered to your seat when the trailers start. So here are the theaters trying to use new media to undermine Netflix's ability to stream. However, major studios like Fox and Warner Brothers are trying to make a deal with theater chains that would allow movies to be rented via video on demand about 30 days after its theater release date, for a price tag of about $30. Which is only slightly more than 2 tickets at most movie theaters. Universal is another large studio advocating this proposal, but they are pushing for a smaller 20-day window between the theatrical release and the on-demand availability. This shows that major studios have an understanding of why streaming services are taking over. People want their movies fast and with as little hassle as possible. Although, there is some resistance, as Disney has publicly stated that they have no intention of changing their release strategy. Why would they when they have the 2 most successful franchises in the world in Star Wars and the Marvel Cinematic Universe? Like Clay Shirky said, institutions will try to preserve the problem to which they are the solution. And as long as people pay to see these things, why would they change? But I'm sure if you asked Fox or Warner Brothers 15 years ago if they had any plans to have early release on-demand viewing options, they would ask what on-demand was. So, as technology and media continue to change, our consumption practices and ways in which we interact with the content will change as well. And the comfort and convenience that streaming services provide will continue to leave studios and theaters chasing after them. whether it be through mimicking the comfort or conforming to the convenience.